So okay, as you know, this is Ron. I'm Christine, and within the umbrella network, we are also Connor, Gemma, and Minsung. And yeah, I just say some words about what's the umbrella, because the title of our talk today is Agents of Change, which is something else. But we as the umbrella are mostly designers, also as us two, and Gemma is working as a curator. And we work together as network because we want to establish and make or create different experiences for people to experience design or things that other people make. So we also established the umbrella in 2014 before the Dutch Design Week to say how can we make our projects be more, how can you say that? How to
let them be seen by people and really understood.
Because the thing is that I have to say also that we make not only objects, we make always larger processes. So we work with people, a lot with time. So some projects take 2 years, and how do we explain that if you just show this table that we make? Then you don't know anything about the people, you don't know anything about the time. So we said, like, how can we be on Dutch Design Week? And so we said, let's be like a temporary constellation of projects. We put ourselves on a map in Eindhoven and we arrange tours. The nice thing is that Ron has actually worked for 7 years as a taxi driver with these large vans, driving with people around the town, and we have him as a guide, and we established the project that we bring people on the bus and drive with them to our projects or different initiatives. Ron is talking about the project, and together we end up with the lunch, everybody around one table, and talk about the things, which creates such nice experiences, and people visiting the projects get a completely different opinion or like contact and can interact with the people that wouldn't be possible otherwise, like with a normal museum or gallery aspect. So, do you want to talk about the agents then, or?
Yeah. It was this very busy Dutch Design Week with a very. It's a very good, understandable tour that we did with complex projects. So no chair looking, but really going in depth. We now pulled that through to because in one of the rides, Gemma, the curator from the Van Abbe Museum, was in the bus with us. So then things went rolling. Now this is Agents of Change is a project supported by Van Abbe and the Art of Impact, and so we're doing this on an assignment basis. And since there is just one design week in all of the year, we focus now on different things. We focus on social initiatives from different neighborhoods in Eindhoven, and so just during normal work weeks, we we do a research into the neighborhood. We find a lot of nice things. We select 3 of them and we do a tour by them, and we end with a lunch, like in Design Week. But then it's a different.
And just to add something, why it's also called Agents of Change. It's a lot like super small projects that we visit. It's really like people setting something up in their free time, like on a freelance base and without money support sometimes. And it's really something that they want to do, that they're really like, yeah, really happy about, or really inspired by. Yeah. That's the map where we are at the moment. Maybe I should explain that a bit. Apparently you see Eindhoven, and that's the different, like the different neighborhoods that we are in blue going to visit still, like Woensel Noord and Stripe are still missing. In the first tour, which was in December, we went to Woensel West, and like the bigger signs are the places that we really visited. Around there, I think you cannot really read that, are like smaller locations that are also in our network. Second tour went to Stratum, same for that, and then last week I think we went to Doorknockers. So yeah, there's still 2 tours left, and
each tour we create a package of different things really. We create postcards for each location that we visit with the information on the back, and this is a package that every tour member gets, and every initiative that we visit gets a whole pack of their own cards, so they can share their nice project. And besides that, we make this map, which folds out like this, for each location, with the information of every project on there.
Because we also believe that all the people on the bus are also like potentially agents of change, so they also get inspired, they take the context of the initiatives. And it's also really nice to see that always when we're in the lunch situations, people are really like talking and really exchanging addresses and really getting inspired. And it's nice because there's always also someone who was born in Eindhoven or whatsoever, and they never knew one of the single locations. And so it's nice because we're almost all foreigners, and we show them around the city, but with a different view. That's really like our mission. Like, look at your city you're living in with a different eye. Like, go on a journey and explore it in a new way. Yeah. And that's some pictures from the tours, apparently from different locations. And yeah, for example, we also went to Burgers. Maybe some of you know that. That's an old squat in Eindhoven. But we also went inside the building, got to know Bart, who was there, who actually opened the door back then 20 years ago, and say, hey, people, get into this building. So that's really nice context that people make.
And every tour we end with a lunch in a special place. Last time we had lunch in one of the buurtkantoren of the neighborhood. The top right picture is we had lunch with Doreen. She is growing mushrooms in empty office buildings. So we had nice mushroom soup in an old tax building.
Sounds a bit strange, but like, you know, like shiitake and so on.
Oh yeah, they're good mushrooms. Well, yeah, it's every tour we get these
nice
very
picture
different.
of you, by the way, no?
Yeah, he's made in the 90s, but I don't know him. It's such a diverse group. We just put the invite on Facebook, and we invite our network, and we see who will join us. And within the van, that's where it starts in the van. Yeah, true. With the driver. Yeah,
I think Ron really has a nice method of getting a lot of, like, somebody also was there writing about us later for the Mud magazine, and she said it really correctly that Ron has a nice method to making out of a lot of individuals. He makes a group like within minutes. It was really nice also to see, like, through asking questions or just like telling things about the projects.
Yeah. As she mentioned, I drove a taxi for elderly and handicapped people for 7 years. So it's a very nice. I regret that I had to quit that job 3 weeks ago, but now I'm full-time doing nice projects like this. So I also don't regret it, but it was the most nice job you can have. If you can, just apply and do that for a few years, and it's. So some pictures of lunch. You can tell this. Yeah. Okay,
that's maybe you could go one back, and just also to say, like, because the next thing is a bit something else. The next two other locations, what I said already, are Woensel Noord and Stripe, and they are also going to happen in March and April. So we also have a Facebook. I don't want to advert this so much, but if you want to see that a bit, you can. I can give you the contact. We have a Facebook page, and you can register your seat for the tour if you want to join. So it's always nice, and the seats are not that many, so we always have only 8 or 9 places available. And
so on the 17th of March there are 2 places left, and on the 23rd of April there are 4 places left.
Okay, good. And the last thing that we also want to say is, we end the project together with the Van Abbe Museum in that way that we are present in the museum within the exhibition The 80s. I don't know if you heard from that, but the Van Abbe Museum is going to make an exhibition about the 80s, and we are in one room, and we are connecting our research that we made, like showing all the locations, like inviting people, showing interviews, and really having this social research with the people and the locations. And we're connecting at the same time with the 80s. So some of them, like for example Burgers, they might also have some stories to tell from the 80s, and we connect it to the now and see, like, the agents of change from then to say it like this, what do they do now? Maybe they started things already then, and to really have this history check back. So that's the thing what we are also doing now, and which is also going from April until September in the Van Abbe Museum, that we also have ongoing research and workshops and so on. And that's our actual work. Nothing to add? Good. Okay, that's it. Thank you.